You and I have the Most High God, the Holy Trinity, within us, living and dwelling in us as a presence. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to Contemplata, a podcast for contemplative souls. In our last episode, we began to consider the mystery of the indwelling Trinity. In our baptism, God gave himself to us by grace. He gave himself completely. And as a result, you and I have the entire Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, living and dwelling in the depths of our hearts. So long as we continue to live in the grace of God, in a state of sanctifying grace. It's a marvelous mystery, the mystery of the Trinity dwelling in our souls, how you and I have the Most High God, the Holy Trinity, within us, living and dwelling in us as a presence. Now, when I go around and talk about the indwelling Trinity to people, and I do preach it to many people in many places, one of the most common questions I get is, wait a second, isn't God present to everything and everyone? Isn't God present everywhere? So how is the indwelling of the Trinity different from the presence of God everywhere? What difference does it make when you and I are baptized and come to live in a state of grace? Wasn't God there already? It's a common question and a very good question. So let's try to sort it out. There's a certain way in which God is present to all things and all people at all times and all places. It's sometimes called the common presence of God. And the common presence of God comes in different modes. There are different modes of the common presence of God. In one way, in one mode, God is present in the sense that he sees all things. He sees all things of all times. He sees every grain of sand on every shore of every sea. He sees every wave of every ocean. He sees every leaf of every tree, every root and branch, every insect that ever crawled anywhere. He sees every human being of all times and places, knowing each one of us personally. This is a way in which God is present to all things and all people at all times and places. God sees us. But there's a second way, or a second mode, in which God is commonly present to all things and to all people. God moves all things, directs all things. He influences all things and leads them on the course that he has for them. God runs the world. God is the one who helps the sun to rise and to set. God is the one who helps all the various processes of nature to continue to go on day in and day out. It is God who is helping your heart to beat even now. This is how God leads and directs and moves things along their course. And he does that with all things and all people at all times and places. It's one of the common modes of his presence. But there's a third way, or a third mode, in which God is commonly present to all things and to all people. He gives being to all things, and he holds all things in existence. God has given being to the sun, the moon, the stars. He's given being to planet Earth, to all the forms of life on planet Earth. And he has given being to every one of us, every human person, every creature that ever has been or ever will be. God is the one who gave existence to that creature, and God is the one who holds that creature in being at all times. There is never a second of your existence or mine in which God is not holding us in existence. It's an amazing thing to consider. It's one of his common modes of presence to all things. So God is present commonly to all things by seeing all things, directing all things on their course, and by holding all things in being. In these ways, God is commonly present to all things, but in our baptism, something wonderful takes place. God comes to be present in our souls in a new way, in a new mode, in a special mode, a manner in which he is not present to all things. He's present to persons in this way, and he is present to those persons who are living in a state of grace. So how can we understand this special mode of the presence of God that we call the indwelling Trinity? That's what the indwelling Trinity is. It's a mode of being present to our souls that's really different. It's really distinct. In fact, this new mode of the presence of God is so different and so distinct from the common modes of his presence that we should just call it a special mode of the presence of God. It's a way of being present that's person to person, heart to heart, so to speak. The entire Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, makes himself available to you and to me for knowing, for loving, and for personal interaction intimately in the depths of our souls. How do we enter into this kind of relationship with the indwelling Trinity? How do we know the indwelling Trinity? How do we love the indwelling Trinity? Well, in your baptism, in my baptism, we were also given the gifts of faith, hope, and love. And when you and I exercise these gifts, these virtues of faith, hope, and love, you and I actually make contact with the Holy Trinity. When you and I say, I believe in God, I believe in the Holy Trinity, we make contact with God. We make contact with the Holy Trinity. It's an interior contact, a spiritual contact, an invisible contact, supernatural contact, but a real contact. And we need to realize that something as simple as making an act of faith establishes us in contact with the Most High God in the depths of our own souls. So too do acts of love. When we say, God, I love you, Holy Trinity, I love you, or Holy Trinity, I adore you, you and I come into union with the Holy Trinity, living and dwelling within us in an amazing way. In this way, through making acts of faith, hope, and love, we come to interact personally with the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, who is available to us in the depths of our souls for knowing and loving. The Holy Trinity who seeks from you and me this kind of interior relationship, this communion of light and love and life. That's the special mode of the presence of God in the depths of our souls. That's the mystery of the indwelling Trinity. Thank you for listening to this episode of Contemplata. Be sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts.